Me. So hopefully you all consent to us being recorded. Well, welcome back to day 2 of the Client Launchpad Challenge. We are so excited because today is the first day that we actually start taking some really tangible action steps towards you getting your next 5 clients and 5 testimonials in 5 days. So if you are, it looks like we got a few more of you VIP access people joining us. If you are VIP access, same Zoom link as yesterday, just hop on in and make sure that you mute yourself when you join the room. Now, for everybody else, make sure that you're here live and you're able to attend the entire stream today because it's going to be a short one, but we're going to give you step-by-step action steps. And again, the replay is not going to be available for today. So make sure that you're taking notes, make sure that you're asking questions at the end of the stream. We want to make sure that you've got everything that you need to go out and take action. And if you haven't already, make sure that you get your day 1 homework done because it is past the deadline, but we'll give you a little bit of an extension. So go check the pinned posts in the online nutrition coach community, get your homework done. That's how you stay eligible for the grand prize $6,000 scholarship towards the VIP Coach Launchpad. So now that we've got those details dialed in, Kate, what's going on? How are you doing today?
I'm doing great. Welcome to day 2. We love this day and we have loved watching the day 1 homework roll in. We're super excited and very pumped up with your quit letters and we totally want to hold that vision for you. Quit your job and do this full time. Follow your passion.
Yeah, I love reading those, whether it's a pump up letter, a quit letter for you, a quit letter for your spouse. So fun to read. So without further ado, it's time to join in on the Zoom. So, yep, you take the VIP access. You're muted. In the meantime, let's get into the presentation. Let's talk about who you serve and where to find them. But we're not just going to be doing another cheesy like client avatar exercise that makes you more confused than clear about who it is you serve. We've got a little bit different approach that we're going to be talking about today. So don't just assume that you know what we're going to tell you today. Really listen out. It's going to be different than what you've been told before. I can promise you that. I know what other people teach about who you serve. We're also going to show you where to find them. So you will today have 30 leads that you didn't have before. You're going to have a big old list of 30 leads who you didn't have before by the end of today. I promise you that. All right. So today we're going to talk a little bit about the mistakes most coaches make when they are choosing a niche and how you can pick your starter niche so that you can actually get momentum instead of getting, oh no, I'm so specific about who I serve. I don't know where these people are. And we're going to show you where you can find these clients who you serve in the computer. All right. Where can you find them? Online, on your phone, all these good things. And you're going to have 30 leads on a list by the end of the night that you can contact over the next couple of days. So Kate, I want to hand it over to you because just so everybody knows, Kate is our client success boss at Beyond Macros and our VIP mentorship programs. And part of the onboarding process is making sure that coaches understand who they serve and what to offer them. And so, Kate, I'm sure you've seen many, many, many mistakes that people make when they are choosing a niche.
Yes. Oh my goodness. So actually this comes with a lot of coaches who have a lot of experience and a lot of different certifications. They've been perpetual students and kind of aren't we all, right? But perpetual students really tend to overthink who their niche client is because they're like, well, I could serve this group of people, but if I talk about only serving this group of people, and even though I kind of really want to, then I'm leaving out all these other people. And should I talk to them too? Because I really could help all these people. And it's that classic overthinking that just paralyzes you. You're over analyzing. So no more overthinking today. We're just going to take that mistake and wipe it off the board. And we're going to teach you how to get out of your own head and just start with your starter niche. The other thing, and Matt has talked a lot about this, and a mistake that he had made early on in his coaching career was chasing that rich niche, which was the one that, he thought these busy, high-level executives, because he's like, hey, they've got money, so they'll invest with me. So, and he was chasing after them. He didn't have any access to them really. And they were so busy that they weren't really wanting to talk to him or do anything about their nutrition. So just because they had money didn't mean that they were wanting to invest it in nutrition coaching. So think about that too. Just because a niche has money doesn't mean that they're your niche. And we see this a lot, and it's picking a niche that's completely outside of your current network, one that you have zero access to. So say that you are a young mom in your 30s and you want to work with women in their 70s who are dealing with osteoporosis, but yet you know no women in their 70s that are dealing with osteoporosis. That's a really, really tough sell because you're going to have a really hard time building up that network of people if you've got no connection with them whatsoever. And then we have ones that are too general. I help men and women lose weight and feel better with healthy habits. That could literally be anyone. You're casting too broad of a net. And in doing so, you won't be speaking to anyone. Your message won't land with anyone. And then there's the ones that get just overly specific. I help men age 30, between 30 and a half with 11 fingers from Montana, whose favorite food is dill pickles, lose 11 pounds in 11 days. Do those people even, is there somebody that you don't know living in Montana? Because I've never met this person, not that I've been to Montana, but still, that is just way too specific. So you want to just get out of your head today. You're going to stop chasing a rich niche, and you're just going to focus on the people that you have access to that are in your current network that are specific enough that you know that you would love to serve them.
Exactly. And one of the things, before we get into this slide, one of the things that I find very interesting about like cognitive science is if I were to ask you, name a bunch of things that are white, you would probably struggle after a little while, and the way that your brain would have to start getting more items on that list is to start thinking categorically. So if I were like, okay, Kate, name things that are white that are foods. Kate could probably start thinking of white foods a lot faster than just random things that are white. So what we want you to do here is we want you to pick actually multiple buckets of people that are specific. We want you to think about what are those, white foods in your fridge? What are those, white appliances? What are, white things in nature? We're going to do the same with your clients where it's like, okay, we'll give some examples in a second, but, the perfect starter niche is not just one group of people. It's who are people like you? Who are the people that like you? It's really simple. And we're going to give you a couple ways that you can start coming up with multiple specific categories of people that you can potentially target, because it'll make it a lot easier for you to actually get names onto a list when you do it that way, because you'll actually start thinking about specific people who you know. Or if you go through a list of your friends on Facebook, or if you go through your phone list and you're thinking, who of these people enjoys mountain biking? Who of these people enjoys CrossFit? Who of these people do I know from college? Then you actually start getting more names onto your list by having multiple specific buckets that you're segmenting with. So it's really simple, actually. And for me, after I finally was like, okay, I'm done with this chasing the rich niche thing, I'm gonna just figure out, okay, who likes me? Who do I like? Who do I know? Who do I have access to? Well, at the time I was working at a CrossFit gym. We had 550 members between the two gyms that we owned. So that was a really good starter niche for me. I also had locally a bunch of friends who I went to college with, and we all moved to Los Angeles. And so I had that group of people. I happened to be in the startup community there for a little while because I had a startup before working at the gym. And so I knew quite a people in that community there as well. And so, there were a couple buckets of people locally, the CrossFit gym, that's really where I started out. Ultimately, I ended up focusing on the CrossFit niche because that's what I really enjoyed. Those were the people I really loved working with the most. But the thing is, I started with multiple specific niches. I got a lot of experience coaching because of it. I had a lot of clients come in, a lot of referrals. I wasn't turning people away unnecessarily, and that led to a lot of success for me. And Kate, what about you? What were your kind of buckets that you were pulling from initially after you left your 9 to 5?
Yeah, so they were my current clients that were from my Beachbody MLM days. So I had a wide, like I had a long list of those type of contacts, and then moms who were interested in keto, which again, I had a really long list of people who I could contact, tons of people in my phone. Like that's who really made up most of my friends and still does actually on my Facebook, like people that I went to high school and college with between like 35 and 45 that are all, wanting moms who want to like lose a little bit of weight and gain more energy because, they're kind of tired because they're up all night with their kids.
Yeah, exactly. And so for Kate and for me, it's like, for me, the CrossFit, that was 550 people who like knew, like, and trusted me as a coach at their gym. For Kate, it's like these people, her current clients, that was, dozens, if not hundreds of people who knew, like, and trusted her. And so, that's what we want you to be figuring out is who are your starter niches. And we don't want you to think that if you pick one ultra specific niche that you've done this homework better than the others. We actually want you to cast a wider net here.
Yeah.
Now, if you are a coach who you are experienced, you already have an online presence, and you've already established a huge audience of your one specific niche, awesome, fine. You are the only person in this challenge who is allowed to have one niche. But by the end of today, what I want everyone watching this stream to have is a list of multiple specific niches where if I said, okay, pick one of those categories of people, go through your phone list, your Facebook friends list, maybe your Instagram followers list, and pick out all of the people who fit that category. Now move on to the next specific niche. Do the same thing over. You should be able to do that and get at least 30 names down. That's going to be the homework for tonight. But the way that we want you to focus on this and to figure out who are those categories of people is let's find where there's the most crossover when you answer each of these questions. So first, it's like, who do you know? What categories of people do you know? Like, do you know a lot of nurses? Do you know a lot of postmenopausal women? Do you know a lot of entrepreneurs? Do you know a lot of people who mountain bike? Who do you know? And then who are you? What things do you do? Like I'm a surfer. I run a men's group. Like I am a nutrition coach. I am a business coach. I am a crypto degenerate. Like there's all these things that can describe me. And so those become other categories of people who it's like, I can relate to them. So, who are you? What categories of things do you like? If somebody was targeting you as a niche, what niches would you fit into? And then from there, this is a similar question, but it's like, who can you relate to? So you might not necessarily be a postmenopausal woman, but maybe you can relate to them. You might not be, a CrossFit athlete, but maybe as another athlete, you can relate to them. You might not be somebody who has anorexia, but maybe you had another type of body dysmorphia. And so you can relate to somebody, we were talking to somebody last night who they want to eventually target somebody with a very specific disease. And they recognized, well, actually, I can relate to anybody with a chronic illness. So who can you relate to? It might be a little bit different than who are you, but it might just be adjacent, gets you thinking a little bit more adjacent. And then the last question is, who can you help? And for most of you with a skill of coaching, you can help lots and lots and lots of people. So this one might not be as specific, but the thing is, I want you to actually take some time, screenshot this slide, write these questions down, and you're going to take some time after the stream today, after the class today, and you're going to write down as many groups or as many categories as you can. And then from there, what I want you to do is I want you to actually see where the crossover is, because then those can be your best starter niches. If you're like, I know a lot of mountain bikers, I am a mountain biker, I can relate to mountain bikers, I can help mountain bikers, well, that should be one of your starter niche categories. For me, it was like, I knew a lot of CrossFitters. I was a CrossFitter. I could relate to CrossFitters. I could help CrossFitters. For Kate, it was like, she is a mom who did keto. Like, she knew a lot of moms who wanted to do keto. She could relate to that, so on and so forth. And so if you can find the maximum amount of crossover between, the categories when you answer these questions, those will be your best starter niches. And we want you to pick as many as you need to pick that will allow you to get to at least 30 leads on your list tonight, which will be your homework. We'll get to that here in a second. But I just want to drill this into your head, because the last 2 times that we ran this challenge, people thought that it was actually, they were doing the homework for this day better by only picking one niche and having a very small lead list. You're actually doing yourself a disservice if you do that. Have multiple specific niches versus one single specific niche. That's a lot better. Having one single specific niche is a lot better than general, just being like, I help men and women ages 1 to 100 to lose weight. It's like, we don't want to be general. So single specific is better than general. But for any coaches who are starting out, or if you don't have the traction and momentum where you're like, I'm really happy with where my business is at and how many clients I have, and I'm really happy with the trajectory of it, just take our advice, at least for the next week. See whether or not it works. Test it out for yourself. And again, don't worry, like, you're not married. If you pick a niche where you're like, oh, I'm not really sure if that's, the type of people I do want to work with, like, how are you going to know until you try? So Don't worry, you're not married. Who knows? Maybe you get a list of people who fit a niche where you're like, I don't know if that's perfect for me. Get on a call with one of them and you realize this isn't perfect for me. Mm-hmm. Perfect. You've confirmed it.
Yeah, exactly. Remember that you have a target, right? And there's the center of the bullseye, but a target has a lot of outer layers. So sometimes you send a message out that is like targeted towards somebody, but an out layer comes in and there's still a dream client. So remember, you're not married, you can evolve. And as long as there's somewhere in that target, I think you'll be a really happy coach.
Mm-hmm. Amen to that. All right, so we'll get to the homework in a second. The answering those questions from before is really important, but we're gonna just do a little overview of the next couple of days so that you have some context for why you're creating this list. So we're showing you where to find the clients in the computer. So what we're doing is today we're going to be creating your hot list. So based off of these specific niches, we're actually going to start getting names of real people who you're connected to, who maybe you have their contact information, whether that's friends on Facebook, whether that's, people in your phone book, doesn't really matter. We're creating a hot list full of specific people who meet those multiple specific starter niches. And that's what we're doing today. That's going to be your homework. Tomorrow, we're going to show you how to tactfully contact them and make them a free offer in exchange for a testimonial. All right. So we're not selling them anything. We're just going to give them some free value and ask them if they would give us a testimonial in exchange. And that's how we're going to get about 5 testimonials over the next 5 days. And that's really going to help you have some proof that what you do works. And it should give you a nice little confidence boost as well, which is really nice. Mm-hmm. And on day 4, we'll show you how to invite people from those free calls where you're providing value to a sales conversation if it's the right fit and if they want help. So we'll show you how to do that in a way that's, not pushy, not pushing anybody towards something that they don't want, and not, ruining relationships when somebody thought they were just getting a free coaching call. All right. So we'll show you how to do it really tactfully. All right. So what we're going to do tonight is create your hot list. So what we're going to do is I'll give you this document. So essentially, you're going to go through after you create your multiple specific niches, you're going to go through phone book. You're going to go through Facebook friends. You're going to go through Instagram followers. You're going to go through any list of people who essentially you have access to. They've accepted your friend request on Facebook. They've given you their phone number. It's these audiences that you essentially own. And what I want you to do is go through all of them, see who fits in your specific niches, write down their name, any relationship, We'll get to this later. How are you going to contact them, and whether you booked, we'll use this to track that throughout the week, but you're also going to, leave any notes here. So I want you just to get as many names as possible onto this list. And then something you can do that actually, we'll do on our own sales team is you can use maybe green for highlighting people who you're like, actually, I really think this person could be a great client. I'd love to, have a call with them as soon as possible. Maybe yellow is like, oh, I put the name on the list, but I'm not really sure whether or not, they would be a great client or not. And then red might be like, if I run out of leads on my list, I'll get to them. All right, but we just want to get as many names as possible. And then you can categorize them like that if you have some time. All right, so essentially, these are the best ways to do it. Like scrolling through your phone contacts, go into like Facebook groups. Here's the online nutrition coach community. One of the best ways you can do this is to go into members, and then you go into members who are your friends, and then you just see all. Really easy way to do that, especially if you're members of Facebook groups that are targeted towards your different niches. And any other audiences that you have, do the same thing. All right. And then there's one other thing that we can do. We promise to you that you don't need social media to do this challenge. You don't need an audience, but I mean, let's face it, some of you have an audience already. So here's a way that you can create a post that will potentially get some more leads in, So you might create a post that says, I set a goal of 10 health coaching sessions completed by October 1st. Anyone want a complimentary session to help me reach this goal? And then if people raise their hand, they say yes, then you just reach out and let them know what we're going to teach you tomorrow. We'll give you the exact script, but all you would have to do tonight is put this post up and then show up tomorrow, and we'll show you how to follow up with the people who raise their hand. Cool? Mm-hmm. Cool. All right. So Kate, what do you reckon for their homework? Any tips to make sure that they complete this properly?
Yes, sir. No overthinking allowed. No overthinking allowed. Seriously, you're going to pull up your hot list spreadsheet, and you are literally just going to start with your phone. Start with your phone. Start going through it. Just make a list of all the people who you would like to talk to. And coach, look, think of this as not who could get your advice or who might be great. Blah, blah. Like, look at this. Look at your contacts. Look at the people that you're already connected with and go, who do I want to help? Who could I help? Who would I love to add value to their lives? And whatever that looks like. That's what you're going to do. You're going to look at this from a value-based approach, no overthinking, pull up your phone first, go through your most immediate contacts. And then like Matt said, go into whatever your social media platform is, your primary, go through your contacts and followers on there, groups, same thing. Your whatever, maybe you still keep like a Rolodex. Good on you. Like go through that too. But seriously, just don't overthink it. Look at the people, look at their name, think of like, yeah, I could help them, write them down. I'd love to help that person, write them down. I haven't talked to them in a really long time, and I remember that we had a huge falling out. Maybe that's not the person you want to talk to, right? But like continue to go through that list, and you're going to have 30 or more before you know it. So creating those 30 plus leads on your hot list, oh my gosh, you guys are going to feel so excited and empowered because this is a list of people that you're going to add value to their lives. This is your hot list, your help list. Look at it like that, because I know that you got into this to serve, right? So for your homework, you're going to go ahead and you're going to share with us. You're going to post your starter niche in the online nutrition coach community in our day 2 homework thread. Again, no overthinking allowed. Post your starter niche. We would all love to see it. Hey, maybe we know somebody that could be in your starter niche, and we can recommend that they talk to you, right? And then you're also going to create those 30 hot leads, and your hot help list. Mm-hmm. Ready? You rise up, coach. This is all about you.
Exactly. And so the homework should be getting posted in the online nutrition coach community. There's actually a dedicated homework post. We'll always pin those to the top of the online nutrition coach community. We are today's a short session. We're done. It's 25 minutes in. And the reason it's a short session is because we want you to actually take some time right now, and to have time, we hope you set aside an hour to take out your journal. And I'll go back to these questions for anybody who did not write them down. Answer these questions. And then if you're writing them down by hand, circle the common threads. And then from there, like, take your time here. Who are the maybe 2, 3, 4 multiple specific groups of people who you might serve? And then what I want you to do is head over here to the online nutrition coach community, and you'll see up in the pinned, this is the day 1 homework, but I'll pin the day 2 homework. I think it should be live now. Here it is, day 2 homework. I'll pin it to the top. And so you'll see it up here at the top. Just click on this, and as a comment, all you got to do to stay eligible for the grand prize, somebody's already on top of it, is answer the question. Something I'll also do once we finish up the VIP coaching session is I will add some links into this homework post for the hot list spreadsheet, as well as any other resources I think y'all need. Sound good?
Mm-hmm.
Sweet. Okay, is there anything you want to leave us with, or leave everybody with, before we hop on and coach these beautiful people?
Yes. So again, that hot list is also your help list. And I have to share with you something that one of our coaches said recently when she did this challenge on her own, one of our VIP coaches. Her biggest takeaway was people actually really do want to help other people. So when she put a request out there on her personal Facebook, and when she actually sent some text messages out to a few people going like, hey, do you know of anybody who might be interested in this? She actually got a bunch of replies. And it was like this restored faith in humanity, right? Like, oh, people actually really do want to help people. And it's so true. Like, you get to be the hero in their lives by helping them, and they get to be a hero for a minute too by helping you. So there's so many wins that are created just from this simple task. So we're so excited for you to rise up to this challenge today, to post your starter niche, and to give us that hot help list, and tomorrow to take the action that we're going to recommend to really start propelling and accelerating your business forward.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And I didn't get to the last slide to tease you to come back for tomorrow, but tomorrow we're going to be literally giving you the exact scripts. Oops, dropped my pen. The exact scripts to contact your hot list and book those calls in. Like, all you got to do is show up, and we'll give you those scripts. We'll show you exactly what it looks like in a way that, doesn't come off as weird.
Yeah.
Awesome. All right, everybody. Well, we got to jump into this coaching session with the VIPs. We're looking forward to seeing your homework. Enjoy.
Yeah.